I'm making this video because it would be easier than trying to explain everything in text. I'm still in danger, and it's gotten a little worse now because I'm a fucking idiot. I was walking home today, and one of my friends from the neighborhood got my attention outside of the laundromat next to the Save-A-Lot at Marion and Lockbourne, and he introduced me to John H. Williams was his name. He lives at 1438 Alpha Marion Road. John told me a story about how this girl, this crackhead, this 65-year-old crackhead, has been bullying him in his own home and like basically forced entry with her boyfriend, and they've been living there in his home. And that's why he was up at the laundromat sitting on the bench today, because he didn't want to be around them. He seems a little slow. Like sometimes you have to say things a couple times for him to comprehend what you're asking or what you're getting across. Even the police had this problem tonight. He showed me a wound in his head that is about 2 days old. She stabbed him in the head with a knife. And because my mama raised a good boy, love you, mama, I had to do something about it. So I called the cops. We waited on them for about an hour and 10 minutes. And when they finally got here, John got the report out to them. They found out that she has warrants. They asked us to kind of meet them over near the apartment where they were, because we were over at mine. And so we did. And the police asked him if they could enter if the door was unlocked, and he said yes. So they did. And they brought her and her boyfriend out in handcuffs. She's going to jail for the rest of the weekend, at least, until she can see a judge on Monday morning. And John and I are going to go up to the prosecutor's office and get that taken care of if we can, assuming they're not going to ask for money, which has been a thing lately. The problem with this, and I didn't know this at the time, I just got more intel on the situation about 15 minutes ago. She's 65, and she has several 30-year-old gangbanger sons. And she's used them to threaten him before, and her boyfriend saw my face up close and personal when the cops walked him by me towards the cruiser, and they let him go tonight for some reason, more than likely because she was arrested on warrants, and they have forcibly stayed at his place for long enough that they legally have residence, and that's how the cops are treating it. So that's why we have to go up to the prosecutor's office on Monday to try and get a no contact order or something like that, is what the cop recommended. Her boyfriend confirmed that I called the cops. I confirmed it like a fucking moron. And he said, oh, okay, and then I get the intel that she has a bunch of sons. They don't know where I live yet. But the problem is, John being a little slow, he's liable to forget that I told him not to answer his door, especially after dark. And if they muscle up on him, they could find out where I live because I brought him to my place today, so he could be safe. I live in a very bad neighborhood. There are 200 apartments here, and we're split up probably amongst 20 buildings. More than that, actually. There's about 4 units per building. So whatever that math works out to be, there's a lot of buildings here. And I've been here for about a year and a half. It wasn't this way when I moved here. But nearly every one of these buildings has someone selling drugs out of it. And based on what I've seen when I first moved here, this is probably a pretty big gang. And I'm in the middle of it. And I just fucking put my face in the line of fire to protect somebody. I'm going to do what I can. They're probably going to kill me, or try to. And I don't want to face either of those situations if I can help it. And I don't want to have to kill any of them. And to remain in this neighborhood, I basically have to keep my head down and not go outside for a while again, because eyes are going to be out for me, because Mr. Crackhead confirmed my face today. I can't take Nico on walks because I actually ran into him at the bus stop this morning, and he met Nico, and I had no idea that this dude was a crack demon that was threatening an old man with physical harm if he called the cops. So at the very least, her sons are going to be looking for me. I'm probably about to shave my head. I know I fucked up. I can't help myself with stuff like this sometimes because he's a helpless old man. And to see someone letting crack destroy their lives to try and like make someone else's life worse. He's a church-going man. Like, They even stole his dog and have been trying to sell it back to him for $60. That's the type of fucking neighborhood I live in. I need to move. I know a place that will let me pay my deposit monthly for like the first 6 months I'm there. But the problem is I need to pay rent here for this month, for next month. I need to come up with the first chunk of the deposit, and I need to come up with the first month's rent there. So 2 months here, 1 month there, and deposit. I don't even need to touch the money. I will get you in contact with the apartment complex. I'll give you the name of it. You look it up on Google and you call her and let her know that you want to like pay my deposit or whatever. I don't need to touch the money at all. I'm trying to get my life right. And I know I can't just walk by someone in need and not do something, because I know what it's like to need someone and not have anybody. If you were struggling on the edge of a cliff, calling out for help, I wouldn't just walk by you. I would lay down on my belly and let you climb up me, even if that meant you might pull me over the edge with you, because your life matters. I like to think mine does too. I've been looking for work. I'm about to put in an application at a gun store in Obetz. I put in an application at the grocery store up the way, but that would keep me in the neighborhood, and I would have to walk through the neighborhood to get to work, and I'm gonna have to walk through the neighborhood to get to the bus stop. So like, getting a job is working towards a solution, but it's not the immediate fix I need that would guarantee my safety. I'm gonna work towards doing this on my own without anybody, because I have to. But if I don't make it, just know that I love you guys, and that I'm sorry for all the bullshit I put you through. I wasn't able to fight my depression effectively enough, early enough, to prevent that from happening. And you didn't deserve that, Mom. None of you did. Any of you that I threatened or just was a piece of shit to, I'm sorry. And just know that if I died because I did something good, and that I'll be in heaven with God because of it. So, I love you. I'm sorry. I've been such a hassle my whole life. But if I make it through this, things will be better. I have so much to give, to contribute. I got to get stable on my feet, and I'll be all right. I'm sorry to throw this on you. Anybody I happen to send this to. It is what it is. I've always kind of been the throw myself under the bus for other people kind of guy. That's why I signed up for the military in the first place. And with all the craziness going on in the world with China brokering peace with the Muslims, and the 900% increase we saw last year of illegal immigration at the border, I'm scared. And that fear, along with finally not wanting to hurt myself, that my drive to be alive and to contribute back to society, like, that's going to drive me to succeed one way or another, because I figure we've got about 2 years if China is going to take this economic advantage they've created for themselves as an opportunity, and they would be dumb not to, because it would be all too easy for them at this point if what I think is going on is going on. If you want to talk more about that and why I think these things, there's so much information online that points towards this, but let me know. I love you guys. I just wanted everybody to be happy, to be a team. And finding out that that's not what the world was like was pretty shattering to me. But I'll continue to try and lead by example. I need to learn to keep my head out of shit, but I couldn't walk by that man and not ask what was going on. And when he showed me that big gash in his head, I knew I had to do something. and he was too afraid to call the cops because of all the threats and shit. So